X Factor Nation, what's going on? We're back with another video. BBN stand up. Figure we come at y'all with a BBN type video. As we know, the Wildcats are heading to Bahamas the second week of August, I believe. Head down there, play some exhibition games. So we figure why not get on here and take a little look at the team this year, get a little team preview going on. Troy, Fred, how we feeling?
I feel so good about this team, man. Listen, living in Lexington, the buzz in the air. You know, we got football season coming up, but man, Cal's been around. He's recruiting his tail off right now. Coming off a terrible year, not a terrible year, a terrible postseason. I think we needed some rejuvenation, and I feel like this team can do it, man. So super excited.
Yeah, back-to-back pretty upsetting seasons, or the ending of our seasons. So, yeah, really excited to get this new group of relatively fresh meat, but also some key returning players that should help this team be really, really special. So super exciting.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Fred, why don't you bring an incoming freshman to the table and tell us a little bit about him?
All right, I'll start with Abdul Thiero, the late addition to the freshman class. We only have 3 guys coming in. We were ranked 14th in the nation in class after consistently being 1 or 2 for most of Cal's career. So Abdul Thiero is a 164th ranked prospect via 24/7 Sports, 24th ranked combo guard, and 6th in the state of Pennsylvania. He is from Leetsdale, Pennsylvania. He went to Quaker Valley High School. A guy who is 6'5", 180. His dad played under Cal at Memphis, so he has the family ties. He's a guy who had a late growth spurt, and apparently he's still growing. I don't expect him to have a big role for this year's team, if any. I think he's definitely a project player, and I think he understood that coming in. A guy who, like I said, is growing, and he showed he's a guy who can score it, and he can also defend over at Quaker Valley. You never know with these late bloomers, but you know, he could end up being really good. And I think a guy who can sit under some good guard play. And of course, Coach Cal is one of the best coaches in the country. So I think he can be a quite the addition, a 3-star recruit, if I didn't mention that. So super excited, combo guard, excited what he can turn into, maybe even grow to maybe 6'7", 6'8". So that'd be really cool. Definitely needs to get in the gym as well. Troy, what do you think about Abdou?
Just a guy to kind of have and for the training staff and for the coaches to really just set aside and be like, okay, we like it's one of the rare cases in Kentucky at Kentucky, I should say, where they are setting aside a kid and being like, you are not going to play probably 1 or 2 years. Like this kid could not see the floor.
Are we looking
for 2
at like
years.
Another Dominique Hawkins type situation?
I think he's got a higher ceiling than Dominique.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he didn't play much until like his senior year, and then he was getting a lot of run.
I mean, he could get some run this year. I mean, I haven't heard much about him in practice. I've heard more about other guys, but I think he's like a baby gazelle. So
yeah, he's just really, really raw.
He probably doesn't know how to use his body yet, because like I said, he's been growing like crazy.
Yeah, it's really hard at that awkward stage where you're growing a ton. You don't really you can't keep up the way you play ball can't really keep up with the way your body is progressing and moving. So it can be difficult to shoot. It can be difficult to do literally everything that is required to play the game of basketball at a high level. So he is a guy, though, like Fred's saying, just to set aside and get a little excited about. We'll see clips of him, I'm sure, at practice and such. Who knows if he'll get an actual opportunity. We may see him in the Bahamas. Who knows? But just like Fred said, not a lot out of him in terms of, people talking about him at their spring practices or fall practices. So we'll see.
I'm excited about him, man. I'm excited.
There's one freshman. Troy, why don't you bring up a returning player this year that you're looking forward to?
Okay, so picking up off of him, I'll just go with Lance Ware. Lance Ware, he is a dirty dog off our bench, man. He's just a grinder, high-energy guy. He is key for a locker room. He's one of those guys, just loves being in the building. He doesn't really care too much about the flair or the flash of playing at Kentucky. He just seems like a guy that's level-headed. He is very, very just happy to be there, very energetic about his job. He seems like the type of kid, too, that would challenge Oscar every day at practice and, like, give him a run for his money. Because
as best as you can.
Yeah, his per 40 minutes were like 10 points, 12 rebounds. So he really was productive in spots. But he needs to tone it down a little bit. He fouls a ton. Like he just hacks people. Like his energy is just so high. He tries to make so much happen. He's a great defender. I'm sure Fred will get into that. He always talks to me about who he defended at a certain tournament in his high school career, and he did a phenomenal job. So I'll let Fred kind of take that one. But yeah, Lance Ware, just a defensive-minded big. He'll clean up about 10, 15 minutes. Just a guy for UK fans to really get frustrated with, but he'll have some really key spots as well. So, Fred, what do you think about your guy, Lance Ware?
Cameron High School guy, DJ Wagner's teammate. We'll talk about him in another video, I'm sure. But a guy who locked up Evan Mobley at the Peach Jam just a couple years ago. He's one of my favorite cats, man. He's a guy who comes in, he does the dirty work. He does stuff that no one else wants to do. He wants to fight. I love the flair. He represents Kentucky. He loves BBN. And I think he's a guy who went overseas this last summer and played in a couple of those pro style tournaments, whatever those were, just to get better. And he was a guy who put up numbers, man. And I think sitting behind Oscar for another year is going to do wonders for him. We need a backup big. It's huge, especially if Oscar picks up 2 quick ones in the first. We know Cal's a lot of coaches are, you get 2 in the first, you got to sit. So I think he can soak up some really big minutes this year, be an energy guy, be a bench guy that we really need, and just take another step forward, man, and be just a rim running, defending big. And I think he's got a lot of shot blocking and rebounding ability. So
just a guy that doesn't need the ball. Like he can work off the ball. He can take little dump downs. He does. Last year he just got a little bit rambunctious when he got the ball. Seemed like in spots he just wasn't very comfortable. Didn't know what to do. But like you said, he did go to Brazil and he played in some of these like you said, these tournaments and apparently, like you said, crushed it. Got huge confidence. Like came back on campus like buzzing about that. Felt really really confident coming into these practices, these summer practices. So. Maybe Lance Ware is a guy that can take a little bit of pressure off Oscar in terms of, being the dominant big that we expect and that we're going to get. So, Lance Ware. There you have it.
Fred, hit us with another incoming freshman.
Yeah, I'll go with the 6'6", 200-pound forward out of Oak Hill Academy, a school that everybody knows. Chris Livingston, the 12th ranked national player on 24/7, position ranked number 3 for small forwards and number 1 in the state of Virginia. A banger, a bruiser. I think he's a 3 or a 4, but I think Cal's probably going to stick him at the 3. Again, he's 6'6", so he's kind of undersized for the position, but this dude's an athletic freak. I think he's going to do a lot. I don't think we had a Chris Livingston last year, and I'm excited to see what he brings. Just need somebody like that athletic who can go get a bucket, who can go to the rim, grab a rebound, push the ball. Like, I think he's going to be great. I think he's not going to be our best player by any means, and I think he's still a little bit raw, but I do think he projects well, and I think he can be a guy that I think he will start. And
you think did you say Reeves will start?
Chris Livingston.
Okay, Chris. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cal's really big on starting freshmen, so I wouldn't be surprised if he started.
Yeah, I think that there's some sort of agreement there. There could be, especially at first, maybe like, hey,
I'd love to see him and Toppin next to each other, dude. That'd be insane. Insane athleticism. Needs to work on the shot. Got to work on the shot.
Yeah, me and Fred have talked a lot about Chris Livingston because I believe he's one of the best prospects I have ever watched coming to Kentucky. I'm very, very high on this kid. The way he just gets downhill.
Yeah.
And is just so explosive, and he uses his body unlike a kid his age. Like he knows how to use his body. He's very, very comfortable using his body. He's very comfortable in traffic. He's just a very under control physical specimen that can just take up a lot of space moving and he can move people off of spots. Chris Livingston's just one of those kids. I cannot wait to see him get out there. He was a kid, I think 2 years ago. I mean, me and Fred have been talking about, this particular class with Chris Livingston for quite some time.
Well, he was an Akron kid. He was at St. Vincent St. Mary's before he transferred to Oak Hill.
Yeah. So, that's from your hometown. I mean, that's right down the road from where you're from. I'm
just a kid from Akron.
Just a kid from Akron. And I'm pretty sure he's with Clutch Sports now. So shouts out Chris. Clutch Sports sees the potential, sees what he has. And he is just really, really so good. But like Fred said, big concern moving on to the next levels, the jump shot. How is that going to progress? Can he turn into a 35% three-point shooter? Like, that would be good enough for what he brings. But I do get a little worried with him and Toppin, just because neither is like a really, really solid shooter. So that can get a little leery in times, especially if you're playing Oscar or Lance. So then you're really, really shrinking the floor. So that can get a little weird. You could have another situation like Keon and Jacob whenever they were on the floor together, where it kind of clashed a little bit. But nonetheless, like, defensively, those two,
the defensive versatility on this team is insane.
And on the open court,
this team should be a transition in defensive.
They should full court press, run, and just get up into people. Like, they could literally probably score 30 to 40 points a game off turnovers, just because you steal, quick push up, and you're just showtime.
That's why, like, if they play that style of defense, that I could see Thiero getting clock.
Just to give somebody
just a lengthy guy 5 minutes just to guard the ball. Maybe.
We've never really seen Cal go away from what he does, though, like with the little pin downs and like the floppy actions. So it'll be intriguing to see if he kind of pivots with this kind of. I mean, this is a new age team. Like, it's literally a perfect. You have a ton of guys that are long, athletic, can run, can bounce. Like, you have such a nice dynamic team. It'll be interesting to see how he handles that, and using Chris Livingston will be interesting. So I love
another dog. He's a junkyard dog.
Troy, let's bring up another returning player.
Okay, so a kid that actually didn't play last year, CJ Fredrick. He got hurt.
He's an NKY boy.
Yes, sir. He is from Cup Cap. Won a state championship at Rupp Arena. So CJ Fredrick, he played at Iowa, man. And one thing that whenever you watch his tape, whenever you watch him in high school, whenever you watch him, in these short little clips that they're posting from these scrimmages that they're running inter squad stuff, that dude can shoot the lights out. Son. I mean, he is a pure shooter. I mean, he played at Iowa for 2 years, and he shot 46.6% from the 3-point line in 2 seasons at the Big Ten. And the Big Ten is widely regarded as the best conference in basketball by a lot of people in certain spots, especially the year where he was at 48%, which was, I believe, 2019 or 2020. So, I mean, this kid, he gives me Deron Lamb vibes, who was a huge part of.
Dude, I love Deron Lamb.
That's a hefty comp.
Yeah, it is. But looking at their numbers, it's very, very comparable. And Deron Lamb played such a huge part in just a defensively minded, like you had MKG. I could see, similar progressions to these teams. You know what I'm saying? Like a mold that this team kind of shows from our previous championship level team. So it's CJ Fredrick, just a guy, if he stays healthy, which this training staff seems to have a key on him doing it the right way, getting through his injuries. I mean, people, I am subscribed to The Athletic, and Kyle Tucker does a great job with these articles posted. And he's just like, dude, the sources are telling me this kid's shot is just one of the prettiest they've ever seen. Like, this kid as a guy that loves people that shoot the ball and loves just watching jump shots. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, it's just pretty from every facet, and he's just a great player. I cannot wait to watch him. What do you think, Fred?
Yeah, dude, we need a guy, especially on a team whose shooting it's always a concern with Cal's teams. Where's the shooting going to come from? It's come from CJ Fredrick, man. That kid can absolutely stroke it. And I believe, and he's a guy, I don't know, starting lineup, what's going to happen, but if we need shooting, I could see him having to start. And if he can defend, and his body transformation, did you all see that picture that the new trainer posted?
Oh, yeah.
My man looks cut. He looks like he's in incredible shape. And that just is going to be even greater for him as a shooter. He can run, just go. And he's going to be a guy who can take pressure off a lot of the other guys, get them downhill. I think it's a match made in heaven. I pray this kid stays healthy, because he's had two major injuries already in his short college career. So let's just hope that kid stays healthy. And if that kid can stay healthy, he will be an X factor.
And Hey, no pun intended. But in the article,
we're gonna get our first athlete sponsorship going.
I'd love to. But in the article, it says that the new strength and conditioning coach is also helping Fredrick take a smart and safe approach to coming all the way back from these injuries. And also, one source says he's a way better defender than we originally thought, but he'll play because of his shooting. So he's not going to be like, we're not going to be like, oh yeah, this guy is our stopper, but he's a better defender than maybe me or you or Caleb or people around with just like a shooting. Whenever you think of a shooter, you don't really think of defense at this level. Yeah. So it's like CJ Fredrick's a better defender than what we think. So if he can stay in front of somebody, he's going to see a lot of minutes.
It's not easy little. I mean, he's long. He's got height. Like he's going to be fine. And I'm interested to see what he guards. Probably the off ball 3, I'd assume, maybe off ball 2.
Hopefully somebody that's not dribbling a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Well, great transition because we want to talk about defense.
You brought up the Deron Lamb comparison, and if you remember back to that team, Deron was playing a lot of the backup 1 when Marcus Teague was either in foul trouble or was just sitting the bench.
That's crazy.
Do we is there might not even be the need for him to do that, but if there's a need that comes up, do you have confidence in him to be able to do that?
No.
Yeah.
I think we're deep enough at that position where we could get away with it.
Yeah, I don't see him necessarily like being able to handle any sort of like extended.
I'd like to see him be more than a catch and shoot guy. I'd be interested to see what he can do with the ball in his hands, though. Like if he can create his own shot, even better. If he could be kind of like what Tyler was. I mean, Tyler, he didn't even shoot the 3 great here. He was more dribble, pull up, make a move, float game, So
he does need to develop a little float game, like a little pump fake, 2 dribble floater, mid range floater.
Yeah, if he could add that to his Duffy, then game over.
Yeah, so there's CJ. Fred, you got another freshman?
Dude, okay. This is probably going to be one of my favorite guys, freshman coming in a while. Cason Wallace, the Richardson, Texas high school kid, number 8 in the nation, 24/7, position ranked number 2 as a combo guard, number one player coming out of the state of Texas. I think he's going to be the best on-ball defender we've had since Ashton Hagens. This kid's clampy, but he's also a willing scorer. Dude is bouncy. Did you all see that highlight at the Jordan brand? I mean, dude can punch it. Dude can shoot it. And like I said, his trademark is going to be his defense. And I think he's a guy who's going to play right next to Shavir and be able to defend at a high level. That is going to be a extremely good defending backcourt because I mean, I think Shavir is a great defender. I think he gets right up in somebody.
Yeah.
And Cason's going to be a guy who I think can average 2.5 steals. I mean, this kid is going to be electric, and I think he is exactly what we need next to Shavir. And if he can shoot it, and I think can shoot it, the sky's the limit for this kid. I think he'll be a top 10 pick. I mean, this kid's unreal. Very excited about this kid.
Yeah, a lot of people that I respect in terms of like NBA scouts and things along those lines. I mean, every time you hear Cason Wallace and what his draft stock could be, obviously he's a projected top 10 pick, but they're also comparing him to Drew Holiday. Like everybody under the sun in terms of the NBA world is like, dude, this kid is just beaming with Drew Holiday potential.
We don't get defenders like this. I mean, Ashton is the one that really stands out as a really high level defender.
But he wasn't good offensively.
No, this kid is
like
this kid.
Like he literally has the whole package in terms of what you would want from a amazing defender.
Yeah, and he can also handle it. I think he's going to be a guy who's going to be that backup 1 role. I think he is going to be. If you're kind of comparing last year's team, he's going to be better than Ty. I believe.
Yeah. I don't think there's much debate about that. Just because
I think CJ's going to be better than Grady, and I love Grady. But Grady was injured. He played injured. He had plantar fasciitis. I mean, and he got.
But still, Grady's shot was a little wonky. But that's a conversation for another. Yeah. Like form wise, like CJ's shot is just so pure that
Well, the biggest question is like, what is the change from last year's team? Because you only see 4 guys. But if you compare, I mean. I think it's not even close. We're a better roster. We went 25-6 last year in the regular season, man. We just had to slip up in the I'm excited for this team. Cason Wallace is going to be a stud. I think he's going to be a guy that is like, holy crap, this is one of the best freshmen we've seen.
Yeah,
Is
and
he John Wall? I don't know, but is he going to be that next tier? Absolutely.
Yeah, just kind of piggybacking off of you, you kind of said, him next to Shavir Wheeler. And Shavir Wheeler is a returner coming in. He's led the SEC in assists the last 2 seasons, but his playmaking for others has never really been the question. But I've always wondered with Wheeler, can he not only create for others, but can he create for himself? Because sometimes he got in no man's land where he was trying so hard to create for somebody else that he would pass up like a wide open floater or a wide open mid-range jump shot, or like he would get so caught up in trying to follow each little like schematic thing that was going on that he would overthink instead of just taking the play that was right in front of him. So Shavir Wheeler, again, I love Shavir. I think that
he's got that dog in him.
Why does he get so much hate?
He got so much hate, dude.
All over. Finalist.
Yeah, I mean,
it's ridiculous.
People on Twitter, people on Facebook, people like in my own personal life were like, man, I hate this Shavir kid. I was like, what? Dude comes in every day and competes. He sets up his teammates on a silver platter every night. Like this dude, he's a point guard. Like every good team.
Is that because like we're as UK fans, people are so used to seeing like John Wall, Brandon Knight,
Tyler Eulis,
but we haven't had
like all those guys that can go out and get their own bucket. Like this dude, it just wants to set up other people. He wants to sit down and guard, get up in you, and then just set up everybody else. Like I think that's the problem is like UK fans are so conditioned to seeing like standout point guards that when it comes time to see a guy like this, especially that didn't come in as a freshman, like you're getting him already set up, like he knows what he's gonna do, and he goes out there and just gets it done. I think that's
and he can get to the cup too. Like he has the ability to get to the rim. Yes, he's little, but he can finish, bro. Like
I got in.
If he can shoot, like come on, bro. Like this kid is.
Yeah.
He's so quick. He's probably the fastest guard we've had downhill. Not close to Fox, but he's quick.
Yeah,
but
obviously, like you kind of semi-highlighted, the question mark comes with his shooting, and that's where people can get frustrated. They're like, oh my god, he's wide open, shoot the ball. He's a career 27.5 3-point shooter, even only 44% from the field. But I think again, that's just him getting overthinking at times and not taking what's available, and then he has to force up something or he overthinks and then rushes up a floater that wasn't there, or he could sometimes just try to do too much. So I think he needs to second year in the offense, second year with Oscar, second year with a lot of these guys. Like we have a lot of returners that, people can get excited about. And it's just, everybody just needs to calm down. The Athletic article that I read, it's stating that he is shooting the ball a lot better. So I just want him to be a 35 to 40% shooter. Obviously, I don't think it gets to 40.
That'd be 30 to 35, man.
I would take about 33 to 35, just taking what's there, because we're not going to need you to shoot the ball an incredible amount of times, but just if it's there, taking the open one. He has nice form. He's got a nice shot. Like watching him shoot, I'm like, okay, like there's something there.
If we get to the point where the defender's not off of him and guarding him like close, we're gonna be fine. Yeah. Like I think he's gonna be great. Would you all rather have a freshman coming in ranked 20 to 30? I'd be at Sky Clark, or because that's why he didn't come, or Shavir Wheeler, a third year Shavir Wheeler.
I'd take Shavir
It's
Wheeler
not even close
Sky
to
Clark.
me.
Yeah,
not even close. I'd take him over maybe even a 15, 20 range guy, like a freshman.
Yeah, plus Fred's thrown out the X factor.
We have the assurance policy in Cason Wallace too, who can handle it.
Yeah, I mean, Fred's thrown out the term X factor, and Shavir Wheeler is my X factor for this team. Like I literally think him and Oscar determine. Like, dude, it's literally like a 1-2 combo that we really haven't seen as a guard and a big. Like, we have a great guard and a great big man that we can literally just get behind and be like, these are our two experienced, battle-tested guys. And now they've been through last season. Oscar has won every award under the sun. Like, none of this stuff matters anymore to them. They just want to win the big one. So I think all this focus and just I think Shavir Wheeler is really going to have one of those years where everybody's like, wow. And you're going to see a lot of people who hated on him be like, wow, he's my favorite player. What do you mean? I never hated on Shavir. That's our guy. Like, it's like, bro, come on. You were wrong. Admit it and just rock with him. That's all I want.
I'm sure his mouth is salivating looking at Chris Livingston, Cason Wallace, Fredrick. Like, dude, he's like, holy
Jacob
cow.
Toppin running the
I can
floor.
throw it up.
You could throw it to the sun, and Jacob Toppin would somehow
catch it. Somebody
float up there, and
he doesn't get it. Chris will get it. Here comes.
Yeah, I mean, Shavir Wheeler to me, again, the X factor. I love Shavir. I think he's in for a big year. Can't wait for us to live stream his games, play-by-play him, and just break him down, watch him go to work. I'm super excited to watch him play. Super excited.
Fred, I believe you still have one more freshman. Am I correct?
No, we are done with the freshmen, but we do have a transfer.
That's what it is. Okay, yeah.
We have a guy from Illinois State, man, a 20-point-a-game scorer, Antonio Reeves, the 6'5", 160 small forward. Dude's wired to score, man. And I've heard, and Troy sent me articles, this kid looks better than people thought in practice. They were worried about who he played at Illinois State. Would he adjust to the bigger competition? And it looks like it is a seamless transition. I think this kid is going to provide a spark scoring, which I think we need. You need a guy where he can roll off the ball and say, you know what, we need a bucket, go get one, not named Oscar. So I think he is a perfect fit. He's not just a shooter. He's a guy who can put it on the deck. Maybe out 3-level scorer possibility. I don't know. Put some weight on with the new trainer. I'm all in on Antonio Reeves. I'm so glad to hear that he's killing it in practice. Just a guy we need. If he's off the pine, great. If he starts, great. But Antonio Reeves is going to play a lot of minutes. He's going to be really good for us, and I'm so happy we got him in the portal.
Yeah, Cal's taking a new progression to topping off classes with the grad transfers, and Antonio Reeves is the next. I don't know if he's a grad. Is he a grad transfer, or does he have more than 1 year? Or do you know off the top of your head?
I think he has.
Because I think he has one more, doesn't he?
I think he has one more year after this. Yeah.
Okay, so Antonio Reeves, but Caleb, you kind of asked about CJ. You're like, can CJ play the point guard if needed? Right. This article literally says Antonio can play the 1 if you need him to.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the guy that if push comes to shove, Cason and Shavir, if we have another tie and Shavir going down, injury, malfunction, we don't have to have Kellen Grady running the offense for us. We can have a guy like Antonio Reeves who has done it before. He's done a great job at doing it. He is, like Fred said, just a 3-level scorer. He can do it all. Obviously, jury's still out. Can he play at this level? That's always the question with some of these grad transfers that not only go to Kentucky, but go to the Kansases, go to the Dukes, go to the North Carolinas. Like, you have to be able to adjust the way you play, because you're going against 5 stars, 4 stars, these high-level guys that have been in high-level programs for 4-5 years. So, you have to adjust your game a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a learning curve for Antonio. Maybe he's not going to come out there and set the world on fire for Kentucky, but maybe one of those guys later on in the year, kind of like, I don't want to compare him to Shea, kind of how Shea was like a long 6'5" guard that just, because he's nowhere near as creative as Shea was. And Shea is high level, top of the line, but he can be kind of that for us. Just a guy that's a little quirky, little unorthodox in a certain sense, get to his spots, be really, really surgical in his movements and his approach to offense and scoring and finding a way to set up teammates. So I'm excited for Antonio Reeves, but I don't want everybody to get down on him if he has a slower start, because I'm kind of expecting that from Reeves. And I hope he proves me wrong and just goes out there and absolutely balls. But
I hope he plays a lot of confidence, though. I hope he just doesn't just be a standstill shooter. I hope he gets the ball, jab right, drive left, cross.
Because he could do that. Whatever Fred just did, he could do that at a really high level.
Listen, dude, when we struggled down the road, even against St. Peter's, we did not have a guy who could go get one.
We needed one bad, and nobody could go get it for us.
Nobody. We need a guy outside of Oscar, because we can give it to Oscar. Go, whatever, do your thing. We also just need somebody to put it to us a rim, because, my God, he'll get the rebound anyway. So, Antonio Reeves, we are so deep, man, and I think we have the mix of defense and scoring. Outside North Carolina, I think we're probably the deepest team in the league.
Yeah, and just kind of going on.
Might as well be in the end. You kidding me?
And highlighting
Jazz, guarantee it. Ooh.
And highlighting a kid that we've all talked about. That's Jacob Toppin. Just a high flying, showtime, flare, flash, confidence. And then my notes I put, should I keep going? Just to describe the attributes of this kid. Like he has so many objectives that you could say that just kind of pinpoint just his flair, his flash, his dynamics. He's got the last name Toppin. So everybody's like, oh, his brother Obi Toppin. But again, from the outside, looking in from an athletic perspective, Toppin literally has it all. Like, he has the body, he has the look, he has the athletic ability. Like, literally, if you were to like make an NBA on 2K, like if all of us were to create a player, it would kind of look like Jacob Toppin, 6'9", 215, long, can tie your shoes standing up, can boing, can posterize, can fly, so he's one of those guys that is just really, really dynamic. He's got a nice jump shot. Obviously has, I think volume wise, I think his like percentages, because I'm pretty sure he shot 40% from three last year, but his percentages were a little skewed because his attempts were so low that you could go 3 for 9 and your percentages look great, but it's like your attempts were, dog water. So he went, pro, he committed to the draft or whatever, with the option to come back, and the scouts loved him. Like, the scouts that he heard from were obsessed with Jacob Toppin, but they said, we want to see what you can do without Keon there. We want to see what you can do as the base 4 for this team. Now, is that going to be his role now with Damion Collins, Chris Livingston? What does Jacob Toppin kind of ink role wise, Fred? What do you think? Because you're kind of chomping at the Bitsky to get in here.
I got a hot take. Jacob Toppin would be a lottery pick in the 2023 NBA draft.
There you have it. Wow.
Elite perimeter defender. How many times last year did you look up and Jacob Toppin was guarding their best player?
Quite a bit.
I saw it a bunch. Dude has great shot for him. He's an athletic freak. He can rebound.
Me and you text a lot during games, especially last year and the year before. We were always vouching for more Jacob Toppin. We're like, why doesn't this kid play? Last year, there were times where they were so hung up on playing Keon so many minutes. It's like, you look at the box score and Jacob Toppin is plus 12 in 7 minutes and didn't play in a second half. It's like, what in the world?
Dog. It ain't Obi's brother anymore. Obi's Jacob's brother. He has great, because he looked good mid-range. He'd catch that little at the free throw line, kind of moving, kind of square up, binkies. Dude, if he can stretch it even more, dude, put him at the 3, Damion at the 4. Oh,
so some of these sources, just to kind of give you a piggyback off the way he's feeling after these NBA draft workouts and things that he experienced in California. Jacob's confidence is through the roof right now. Those workouts helped him a ton, gave him a lot of belief in what he can be. One source says he's lived in the gym and been a really good leader for us since he got back. He obviously regularly puts on jaw-dropping dunks and these little dunk shows that he performs during practices. So he's just a kid, man, that guys love. Him and Lance Ware are huge locker room guys, huge pieces. Huge pieces to what Kentucky is building. So I'm really excited about Jacob Toppin. Do you have anything to say on Jacob Toppin, Caleb?
Nothing that's not already been said. He's exciting to watch, and I think we're all throwing out X factors. I think he'll be my X factor for the year.
He's just so versatile, man.
I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't be second or third on the team in minutes a game, if not first.
Jeremy Grant.
That's a good NBA comp. Just a little bit more athletic than Jeremy Grant.
Well, there's Jacob. I think he's a different level of athleticism. Jacob Toppin's stupid athletic.
Yeah.
At 6'9", too, dude, he's so versatile. It's insane. He will start at the 4, right? He's starting at the 4.
There's no reason he shouldn't. Absolutely no reason he should.
Now, there is a 5-star that returned from last year's team, struggled to get his footing, that plays a similar role, has similar intangibles. When you start looking at some of these numbers, Fred, I know you're a freak when it comes to wingspan. How about a 6'9" power forward with a 7'4" wingspan with a 43-inch vertical? Who is that, you might ask? How about Damion Collins, power forward, originally out of Texas? I mean, he obviously is more of a Isaiah Jackson than, let's say, Anthony Davis. But we Cal is so high on this kid, unbelievably high on Damion Collins, as he should be. His per 40 numbers. You want to hear him? 15 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks. Obviously, didn't play a ton of minutes in his short stints, but he had some really productive runs with the big league squad, if you will, last year. So what do you think on Collins? Because he, again, kind of in a similar role to Jacob Toppin, and he's a former 5-star, and Cal has somehow got this kid to not transfer, not try the NBA waters and maybe go a G League route. He has got him to stick in his program for this year.
Baby Giraffe. And I hope he becomes adult Giraffe this year. He's one of the, I call Baby Giraffe when they're athletically just so gifted and tall, and they just don't know how to run or control their body. Dude, and you watch all the UK men's basketball video Instagrams, what is he doing in every single video?
Running the floor.
Nope. Yes, but no. What's he
doing?
Booming. Nope.
Shooting?
Watch him. He's in the corner. Bink. I think he's going to be a stretch 4.
He's getting a hard look per sources as a stretch 4.
Yeah. And I think, dude, and he's a shot blocking freak. I mean, this dude, the lineups in my head right now are insane. Putting him and Toppin next to each other with Oscar at the 5. Like, there's so much. He's so versatile. He's another, just a versatile defender. And another guy, like if Oscar's in foul trouble, Lance is in foul, whatever, he can play the 5. And I hope, I haven't looked at his body, but it looks like he's one of those guys that's going to be hard to put on weight. But
he has finally eclipsed 200 pounds.
That new trainer's doing a great job. I think we need to shout him out because
he came in at 100, like barely 180, barely scratching 180, and in just over a year, he is now eclipsed 200 pounds.
What, 7,000? Dude, like he's so raw, and I'm like he came back for a reason.
Yeah,
but what I've heard from sources that he came in at Kentucky knowing he's not going to be a one and done.
That's what a lot of people did say.
Dude, if he can give us 20, 25 minutes off the bench a game and be rim running, but also stretch the floor and defend at a high level.
I was going to ask, in a perfect world, would you rather see him or Lance Ware get more minutes? And it seems like the answer is him.
You mean Collins?
I don't think different positions, right? I think.
Oh yeah,
I think Damion will probably come in more at the 4, and Lance will be the 5.
But if you're looking at position wise, like if we're talking Jacob Toppin getting all these big minutes, you would think a lot of those would be at the 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially with guys like Chris Livingston. I agree with that, especially if Damion Collins is going to give you.
If he can stretch the floor, then that gives more of a reason to put Jacob.
The athleticism on that floor.
I mean, dude,
you want to talk about Jericho Sims?
You want to talk about defense? Shavir, Cason, Jacob, Damion, Oscar.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck scoring 40 points.
Kidding?
It would be unbelievable. That lineup would be absolutely unbelievable.
I think Jacob Thompson's got shot blocking ability too.
That he does.
Well,
and last year,
athletic freak like that. Absolutely.
I bet Oscar's been in the gym beating stuff off the glass.
He needs to be working about keeping his arms straight up so he doesn't get foul trouble. Like don't even attempt to block every shot. Like literally, put your hands straight up, pal. Like do not.
And he's like just a shy kid, just a good kid.
Yeah, last year, Quick Little Nugget shot 85.7% from the free throw line.
Yeah, so like against Alabama, he hit like 8 for 8. He has a great shot for him. For a guy who can scratch his knees. I mean, you kidding me?
Yeah, he's a guy that's going to be fun to watch, and hopefully a guy. Ish, yeah. I mean, I think
give me these comps, bro.
I mean, that's intriguing. But
who'd you say?
Chris Boucher.
Oh.
They got similar body types.
Yeah, dude, shot blocking. And I think just look at all the video. He's literally just like in the corner, just hookums.
Gaining weight and shooting threes. That's all you need to do. And now the best for last, probably the greatest college basketball player that we have gotten I don't know how to word it, but just gotten to grace his presence 2 years at Kentucky. We very rarely get to see a presence like him around for more than 1 year. Again, just to kind of highlight, he literally won every award. I don't want to go into them all because literally it's a mouthful, and half of them I didn't even know existed before I looked on his basketball reference. And I was like, wait, he was a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gift award winner. He was a Nickelodeon star college athlete of the year.
I think he won Jesus' favorite child.
Yeah, just a great guy.
Posted on his Instagram.
5 minutes away from the crib.
For real?
Yeah, dude.
He cares about the kids, cares about people. just cares about his time at Kentucky. He is literally such a great guy to just be able to wrap our arms around him. I'm a huge Oscar guy. Have been since we got him. I wanted him originally whenever we did recruit him. Obviously, never thought he would be the Oscar Tshiebwe that we are seeing on the court right now. Like nobody did. There were some motor questions when it came to Oscar. There was a lot of questions about his character. There were so many, and now it's like, wait, there were questions about this kid's character. There were questions about this kid's motor. Like, are these guys idiots?
Yo,
like this dude works harder than anybody.
Yo,
like, what are we talking about?
What are you doing, bud? Yo,
but I believe
kicking himself.
I believe he will be the man behind number 9. He's going to be the star player. He has talked to no bitter end about what his goal is. He's like he's won every trophy a college athlete probably could in one season at Kentucky, except for one. And that obviously 2 with the SEC tournament, but nobody, so what for conference tourneys? Those are nice and all, but we want the big one. We want the NCAA championship. And obviously we were set for a decent run last year. If one concern with Oscar after his 17 points, 15 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1.5 block performance from last year, if there's 1 or 2 concerns, one, playmaking for others. He has the ball in his hands a lot. Maybe off of a roll, somebody comes over and takes it away and makes a nice little skip pass. You can probably pick up 3 to 4 assists. Maybe that gets you on the radar of some NBA teams. And then obviously improving his mid-range jump shot needs to be a point of emphasis.
And I heard he's shooting the yipple.
I don't want him to shoot a 3. I please don't. Please, dear God.
I want a little pick and pop ski.
I don't. Don't try to do too much.
He'll miss it. He'll rebound it somehow.
No, I don't want to go too far away from what he does. But if you're telling me he can start consistently knocking down a mid-range jump shot,
he did it last year too. He had it in his bag.
He's not scared to shoot him. Obviously, he's not very consistent.
He'll get it. He follows his shot.
Yeah, and I think something that's been refreshing is like Cal has been very, very like, he needs to improve on these certain areas to get to the next level. But we're not going to, make that a point of emphasis to showcase that. Like if it happens, it happens. But we're trying to win games here. And, he can showcase that in his own individual workouts and whatnot. So, I mean, I'll let both, let's just dive into Oscar, what you guys think for a few minutes here. Caleb, what do you think of the Big O?
Fred, you go ahead because I got a question about Oscar.
Yeah, dude. I have never seen a guy rebound like that. Like watching him game 1 against Duke, I'm like, oh, that's different. Like, and he's only 6. Like, he's like 7. He's 6'9", like 2'4". Like, but the way he just reads the ball and the way he can just go get an offensive rebound and defensive rebound the same way. Like, have we ever seen anybody like this in college basketball?
Not
you'd have to really
memory.
dig. Yeah, you'd have to really dig.
I mean, and the amount of possessions in games he saved because of his rebounding. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's going to be so hard because we expect him every game to get 15 rebounds now. So, like, when he doesn't, it's like a shock. But, dude, I don't see him slowing down. Like, I don't think he's going to take a step back. Like, if anything, I think he's going to be even better this year. Better shape, another year in the system. Like, he loves Jesus. He loves the kids. He loves his team. Like, this dude is so pure. If they don't build a statue of him, I freaking will. You know what I mean? Like, the city of Lexington loves him. Like, he just goes to random churches. Like, he's love, man. He's love. He's Oscar.
As he should be.
Yeah, dude. And he's a good basketball. Like, he's a great basketball player. A great college basketball player. Will it translate to the league? I don't know. I don't care. He's here at Kentucky. And he could come back for another year.
He could.
But
I
don't think he will. But super excited. He is the building block. He is who we're building this team around. He is who the offense is probably going to should run through. And
every home has a great foundation.
I'm glad you brought that up, Fred, because that's how do you play around him? So obviously you can read off all the awards he's got and everything, but like now knowing that now teams are going to be so focused in on him.
Good.
It's
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because we've seen, if you think about it, we've seen dominant bigs in the past. Luka Garza, Kofi Coburn. Like, we've seen these dominant big men, but they haven't really done much when it matters most, like these teams, I'm saying. So, like, I don't think teams will, like, so over because I don't think he's the key to what we like, because a lot of his work comes off just personal grinding off rebounds, and obviously they're going to have to do everything
you're
they
going
can
to have to throw like two
glass.
bodies at him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
he can consistently get offensive rebound and kick it out to CJ Fredrick and Cason and Antonio. Like, dude, and I thought he did a great job of that last year. Just sometimes it just didn't go. But I mean,
we had 2 shooters last year, two guys.
He doesn't automatically get the ball, go straight up. But like, if he gets a rebound where he has to kind of come around, like he doesn't just go up immediately. Like he looks like he can. These guys can relocate and see your friend. I mean, as a shooter, you know what relocation is like. There's just so like, I don't know, man. But this is what I'm thinking. He goes against the team. These guys, these bigs are like, I'm going to take it personally. This guy's not out rebounding me. Cool. That's fine. Double team him. That's fine. We have Jacob Toppin. We have Damion Collins. We have Chris Livingston.
I mean, it's a scary thing if you're an opposing team, because you have to focus so much on him, keeping him off the glass and on the low post. But then if you double him, it's not. It's a
lot of vulnerability, man. If you double him especially it limits your fast break opportunities. It limits so much. If you're throwing 2 bodies at him, you're basically setting yourself as like a mismatch. Now, obviously, teams are going to find creative ways because there are amazing coaches in the SEC. There are amazing coaches everywhere around college basketball that are going to figure out ways that we're like, wow, that's really creative, and that worked a lot. But in terms
for 30 plus games last year, though,
I say at some point last year, teams were probably like, man, we should probably try to do something. But he's just so powerful, so strong.
That's effort. You can't.
Are we looking at the most beloved Wildcat in the Calipari era?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think
he's not the most important. John Wall is the most important. But
I'm not talking about. I'm just talking about from a fan base perspective. Like, think about how big John Wall was for the city of Lexington. Think about how big Anthony Davis was, bringing home a national championship.
But they were for different reasons. John brought back Kentucky basketball. That's why people love him. And John Wall, or Calipari too, but Wall, and then AD won. So different, I think.
If they win a title this year, I think that
they'll build a statue of him. Swear to God. Who cares? I promise you they will. Dude, yeah, I mean, because they love Dominique Hawkins, but that was a different love because he's from Kentucky. I'm trying. That's a great question.
I believe he is. He's my. It only took him a year to become my second favorite Wildcat of all time, like that I've ever watched.
Who's your first?
Terrence Jones. I've talked about him. No bitter in. He won a championship. Just a dog grinder. If Oscar coming back, I mean, it's gonna be hard for me not to bump him up just because I love watching this kid plays, and he's just a likable guy. You give me another 32 to 40 games of watching this kid's interviews, watching this kid play, like I'll have nothing but to move him up, especially after this year. Whenever we get 32 to 40 more, like it's just gonna be. It's just going to be so much fun, to fall in love with Oscar. And Oscar, obviously, we're blessed as Kentucky fans year in, year out with great talent. But with this kid, it means more than just the talent. So
I don't think it's going to be we got to play a couple games to really get this. I think this team's going to hit the ground running.
And we will see that as we go live.
Yeah.
We may start all upperclassmen. We won't, because Cal loves starting freshmen. Don't blame them, because these dudes are freaks. But there's a possibility. Like, we're gonna have three seniors starting possibly.
Shavir, Oscar, and Toppin.
Jacob. Yeah.
So let's transition here. As we mentioned at the beginning of the video, the Bahamas tournament or exhibition games is just a couple weeks away. Let's all give one thing we're looking forward to with this exhibition games, like what we're looking forward to see. I want to see Cal experiment with some different lineups, like you were talking about. Damion Collins at the 4, Jacob Toppin at 3. Like, throw that out there. Let's see how that looks. Like, throw just random groups out there. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see how these guys look together. Like, we know what Oscar and Shavir may look like together. Okay, let's see those two out there with CJ Fredrickson and some, like, let's just don't settle for like one particular 5 and play all those 5 together. Like, throw 2 guys in at some point. Take 3 out, throw three others in. You know what I'm saying? Just constantly experimenting with lineups. That not only that the coaching staff can get comfortable and figure it out, but us as fans too. Like, we want to see what these guys look like together. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to. Fred, what about you?
I have a couple things. One, team chemistry. It already seems like this team really likes each other. And every time a team goes to the Bahamas every 4 years, it just makes them even closer. I mean, last year was the Hero Washington Hagen's year, and that team went to the Elite Eight, and they seem to really enjoy each other's company. The next, I want to see what the coaching staff looks like, because you got KT Turner coming in. You got the second year with the Tshiebwe and Chin Coleman. You already see the advantages that they've had a full year of recruiting. So, and I saw a tweet yesterday that we got big stars involved with Kentucky basketball. Looks like we're going to be cool again. Kanye, like Drake might be there. Drake might be at the Bahamas. Like we got, it's a great time to be a Cat. These last couple of years have been rough. We haven't been the cool school. I think Cal's got a swag back, and nothing cures, sadness like winning. So I'm looking for lineups and certain guys. I'm looking for the new guys. How do the freshmen look? How does the, tone look? So
Troy, what about you?
I mean, I kind of mentioned it earlier. I want to see experiments with lineups as well, but also experiments with the stylistic approach to his offense. Like I can only see so many pin downs for guys and little floppy actions. We don't have an Emmanuel Quickly. We don't have a Tyler Hero. Like we don't have those. That kind of
really likable, by the way. Quickly was one really likable guys.
Yeah. Quickly's my guy. But it's just we don't have that type of offensive talent. Maybe Reeves can showcase that a little bit, but I don't want to run our offense around just one guy. Like I want to see us share the cookie a little bit. I want to see the ball bouncing,
transition, gonna be insane.
Some motion. I want to see us maybe throw out presses for 10, 15 minutes at a time. Like instead of just
bodies.
Yeah, except for just like these 2-3 minute spurts whenever we're down and trying to get a quick run. Like, no, I wanted us to experience maybe throw a little West Virginia, press Virginia. Like we throw out that little thing for a little bit, like just different styles, approaches, and of course, different lineups to see what works, what doesn't, like what can we get excited about, what may be our early thoughts for our best five, like those types of things, and just really have fun. Like I want to see the guys smile. I want to see the guys enjoy, like kind of Fred said, each other's company. I want to see them have a good time playing the game, man. I don't want to see any injuries. I want to see these guys just be healthy, have fun, smile a lot. I want to see 46 slap on the bumps. At least I want to see these guys just be happy, man.
Who's leading the team in encouraging words? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, can we keep a stat on the side,
man? I don't want Cal to be stressed. Like, he's fine.
I just want him to sit back and enjoy it. I've heard rumors that you could see Drake on the sidelines for one of these games, like with Kentucky. Like, it's just one of those things.
Please.
Like, just have fun. Again, just have fun. It's huge for recruiting, having these huge stars around, hanging out around.
We got Kanye connection now with Dillingham, so.
We have all sorts of connections now. So, I mean, just sit back and enjoy. I want us to have fun. Again, it's been a long 2 years. Like, it's been terrible as Kentucky fans. Like, people are bashing Cal. People are bashing the players. People are so mad about Kentucky. This isn't the Kentucky way, yada, yada, yada. Well, shut up, sit back, enjoy this ride. Let's have some fun. Let's all just enjoy Kentucky basketball. And
people act like this is the first time this has happened. It's like Duke has lost the round of 64 twice in like the last 10 years. Like, we're fine. It's okay. The COVID year happened. The team didn't get a practice. There were a bunch of freshmen. I didn't expect them to be good. Like, so shut up.
So we'll wrap up with the Bahamas experiment here. What are we expecting the record to be?
We're not
we're looking for a clean sweep.
Yeah, the only one that might give us problems is the Dominican national team, but
I mean, we're talking like big blowout wins every game.
Yeah.
Maybe not every game. Maybe the first game, kind of getting their feet wet a little bit. But I think once they get rolling,
I hope
once they get rolling, once they get comfy.
Hey,
I don't see any of these teams messing with them. We'll be live.
We'll be live.
So we got two last questions, and then we'll get out of here.
Cool.
Potential starting five. Like the season starts. Who's your ideal starting five for the beginning of the season?
Go ahead, Troy.
I'll go Shavir, Cason, CJ, Chris, Jacob, Oscar.
That's mine.
So Shavir, Cason, Chris, Jacob.
Yeah, that's mine. Literally, yeah.
Oscar. What I want to see would be like a Wheeler, Wallace, CJ, Chris, Oscar, just to have a dead eye, just to have that guy.
Yeah. The fun lineup's going to be when Cason's running the one, I think.
I just don't think Toppin would come back to come off the bench. You know, like I just don't think.
I'm not saying that's going to be the starting lineup, but like there's going to be.
No, I'm just saying from my perspective, like why I didn't say that lineup. But I think that's probably going to be our best five with Jacob, Chris.
Fred, what do you got?
I think the three solidified are probably Wheeler, Toppin, and Tshiebwe. And I think you can even the Cason probably at the two. So I'll go Shavir at the one, Cason at the two. I'm going to say Antonio at the three, Toppin at the four, Tshiebwe at the five. I think Antonio starts. So
we have basically the base of we all have the same base of the starting five at least.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, is Chris probably going to start? Yeah, it's just Cal's MO to start a freshman, which is I'm totally okay with. But you know,
Chris is really, really good too,
and CJ could even work into that. I mean,
100%. That's what I'm trying to find a way to get them all out there, and it's like it's hard.
It's a good problem to have because we're going to be deep. Yeah. And you know the lineups even off the bench are gonna be great. I mean, he can start Collins for all I know.
I think sometimes though Cal subs too much, so I think it can that sometimes be a little bit chaotic because he just gets mad at a dude and wants to get him out of there like as soon at a drop of a hat. It's like
usually
breathe a little bit.
Though. Usually is the key for the problem with freshmen. So
he did it a lot with Toppin last year too. He'd be chewing that guy's butt out.
I think it's important though when you have freshmen or a guy like Toppin that hasn't necessarily played a whole lot.
Yeah,
is if they mess up. Let them stay out there and learn from it. And then on a timeout or halftime or at the end of the game, then you rip them apart and you let them know what they did wrong.
Yeah.
Like I think it's important though to get out there and make mistakes.
Yeah. I think this is going to be probably the most or the least he's has to coach. If that makes sense.
I agree.
So we'll end with this. Yeah. Record last year was 25-6, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Over under 25 wins this year. Over.
Wait, is that regular season or total?
Total.
Oh,
well, no, we'll do regular season.
I was like way over. Yeah. Because you guys see term. Yeah, I'll go over. I think we go 27-4 in the regular season. Wow. I don't think we lose a non-conference this year.
Wow.
Troy, what do you?
Do we play Kansas?
Yeah, we should play Kansas.
Oh, that's an awesome.
That's a
game.
doozy. Well, Kansas will be down, won't they? Will they be pretty good?
So just regular season record.
Yeah.
There's 31 games.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go 26-5.
Well, we don't have the craziest non-conference.
Yeah, but you always lose one or two sneaky conference games. You always do on the road somewhere. Some team upsets you. But again, we do have an experienced team, so it's not like these guys shouldn't be prepared for these moments and shouldn't be like, okay, we know that on any given night we can win or lose in this conference, especially on the road. So
I think we should grab the SEC this year. I think the best team in the SEC outside of us is Arkansas. And outside of that, I don't know. I don't know where I'm looking.
It's a big question mark. But that's a conversation for another video.
I think it's safe to say there's a lot to be excited for this upcoming season.
Yep.
With that being said, it's a couple of weeks away till we actually see these guys out on the floor, see what they look like in some competition. If you're a UK fan, get ready because we're going to be doing some live streams. We're going to be out there streaming for these Bahama games, and then we're going to be out there during the regular season a whole lot. And as you can see, we can't contain our excitement at all. Do we have any closing remarks?
I do.
Go ahead.
BBN, shut up. Listen, Cal is fine. Who else would you rather have, you bums? Quit being hard on these kids. They're going to be great. Caleb, I'm looking at you. Listen,
I retired from
be happy. As a UK fan, you are in a lot better spot than most teams. It could be worse. You could be a Vanderbilt fan. Listen, we are in a prime position. Please treasure Cal while we have him because you don't know what will happen next. And think about what it was like before him. Shouts out Cal Perry. Shouts out this team. I love you. Mwah. Go Cats. Meow.
Troy.
See you at Rupp. X Factor outing.
Again, like he said, let's just have a great year. Positive vibes. Positive energy, tons of lives, tons of smiles, tons of encouraging words, tons of pats on the bum. Just fun times, man. Fun times are ahead. This is going to be a really, really fun team. Very, very experienced team. Everybody complains, oh my God, our teams aren't experienced enough. Why don't these guys stick around more? I hate one and dones. Well, shut your mouth, because we got a squad full of experienced seniors, guys that have been around the block here. So let's just have a great year, because it's going to be a fun one.
Have fun.
Yeah, let's get out of here. X Factor Nation, we appreciate y'all BBN. We're excited. Hope you all are excited too. We'll catch you all at the Bahamas. See y'all then.
Aloha!